Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Ghost Spider, issue number 3. I love this cover. Look at everything going on. She doesn't realize the danger that's behind her. And what's she doing? Oh, maybe her spider sense is tingling because she just pulled out her earbud and there's the music playing. Little details like that. That's how you're going to get me on a cover, man. I love that. That is gorgeous. Anyway, I'm going to tell you 5 things about this comic book. The cover part is free after we talk about who made it. All right, so Dog Days Are Over. Sanaa McGuire wrote it. Takashi Miyazawa drew it. Miyazawa and Rose Campe inked it. Ian Herring colored it. VC's Clayton Cowles lettered it. And George Molina did the cover. So let's talk about number 1 on this list. Man-Wolf is freaking evil. Look, Man-Wolf is not the most popular character in the Earth 616, but he does have a pretty strong cult following. Small, but strong. Why? Because he's a really tragic character. Much like Werewolf by Night, he has forced transformations into a lycanthrope character, and it's like, he goes around killing people. Yeah, that's, terrifying and whatnot, but the idea is that way more than Werewolf by Night, John Jameson is actually a hero. He's a great guy who has a really tragic backstory, as far as like what a great person he is, what a suckwad his father is. So when he does actually transform, he gets like, in his heart, oh my God, did I hurt anyone? Well, this version, the Earth 65 version of Man-Wolf, is kind of a jerk. In fact, he's a major jerk. He's kind of evil, which is surprising. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out, but since John Jameson, unfortunately, isn't like a huge character in Earth 616, let's see how the 65 version works. Let's talk about number 2 on this list, and that is Benji is something else. So Benji is this character. She's an Aussie, and she is being hired by the Jackal to go and hunt down Gwen Stacy, basically. I think she has to actually return Gwen Stacy to Miles Warren, the Jackal. But she's at least going to try and find out where she goes. Where does she disappear to? And it turns out she literally disappears. But she's doing this for a reason. You do find out a good portion of the reason. Maybe it's the whole reason. If so, it's kind of not played out the way that I was hoping it's going to be played out. But I was hoping for more from this character, and I hope that we do get more at some point. Anyway, this is interesting, and she's, wow. Let's go on number 3 on this list, and that is Peter's too old. When Gwen makes that point about the Earth 616 version of Peter Parker being too old for her, unlike her version back in Earth 65, I thought that was, it's a fair point. It's a fair point, except any woman, and this is my statement from here on in, or actually it's been my statement for a while, any woman who fell in love with the whole Twilight, Edward Cullen, a 100-year older than Bella vampire, yeah, but looked younger, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You have no ground to stand on. Shh, don't talk about older men. You know you love them. Anyway, being silly. Let's move on to the Twilight thing. Let's move on to number 4 on this list, actually having to do with the comic book, The Bandit. Now, I haven't been reading Spider-Gwen books for a while, so actually, I never read like the original ones. So I was a little bit shocked to see that there's this character who's actually a returning bad guy called the Bandit in here. And this dude shows up every so often apparently, and he's like, robbing someplace, but in this particular case, he didn't rob anybody. Okay, much like the Ringer and Shocker in the Ultimate Universe, Spider-Man. Cool, I'm interested. Are we going to turn him into a serious good guy already? I guess if people have been reading this for a while, okay, for them, that'll be cool. I think this is my first time actually reading this character, in which case, I'm just not buying it, unfortunately. But for those of you who have, or anybody who's a speculator, consider trying to find the first appearance of this character, because it might be worth some money if they really do make this character important. Much like Kite Man over in DC, just saying. Let's talk about number 5 on this list, and that is, I am speechless at the ending of this book. So Benji gets turned into, and it seems like her motivation is that she wants to be turned into some kind of a were character, a lycanthrope character. It's not a werewolf. It's something different. If you're a D&D player, you're very familiar with this character. That being said, I just look at this like, dude, what the heck is going on? More than that, it always looks like there's 2 of them. So I don't fully get it. I'm not sure what I'm looking at here, but I hope that this isn't the final appearance of Benji in this comic book, because it seems like it is. That would be a rush, and it would be a waste if that were the case. I got to see issue 4 and hope that she's going to be back, because I am definitely interested now. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.